Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Alex Builds. We're now going to have issue 87 of Eagle Moss's Build Your Own Back to the Future Delorean. Okay, so this is the last Delorean I've got at the minute. They only delivered one issue to me for some strange reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so apparently issues 88 to 91 will be on the way anytime soon, but they haven't been delivered yet. So we can only crack on with what we've got. So let me show you what we've got and yeah, what we're doing. So 87, we get some more parts for the interior roof. Get some sun visors there. Yeah, some more gadgets and gizmos and some LEDs and stuff. So let me show you exactly what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be bringing back the actual roof part. This is where this is where we got up to last time. We just put these two parts on with an LED in there. So yeah, and we put a little lens in there as well. But yeah, so we're carrying on with that. We're going to be adding more details onto that, screwing them down. Both of them with GP screws. Then we're going to add this little box part onto there with a BP screw, and then add the sun visors. These have little pins in them to keep them on. And yeah, we're also going to be putting these bracket parts on there as well. And when we flick around the page, going to repeat that process on here with the other sun visor. This is the right one, this is. And then we can add some LEDs with some tape on there, just like so. We're going to be putting a little tab. We're going to run all the LEDs down there with a tab, just there. Then we can bring over the actual main upper body of the DeLorean. We're going to be putting in some LEDs just in the top there. These are for the flux band, so we need to check these and make sure they're blue. I already have done that. Mine's are blue because originally Eagle Moss did ship these with, I believe it was yellow LEDs. So I'm going to poke out the top just there. We're going to tape them down so they don't go anywhere. And yeah, we're going to make sure we get all of these wires out of the way because we're going to actually install the roof part today. We're going to make sure we put the sun visors up because we've got a couple of screws just there. And then we've got loads of other screws just there to put in and to over this side. And then that's the interior roof done. And we're moving on to, in the next issue, basically we're going to be adding seat belts and interior details to the inside of the DeLorean. So I think these are like the side panels that come down just on the insides of the doors and the windows and stuff. So this issue is the last one where we actually install all the interior gadgets and gizmos. So exciting to get the interior gadgets and gizmos all finished. It's just the external ones on the back now where the reactor plate sits. We've got to do all that. That comes a bit later, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. But yeah, excited to get this one done. So without further ado, let's get the parts open and start building. So I've opened up all the parts. I've got them all scattered over here. I've got the screws and that just over here, just behind the camera. And yeah, everything else I've got just here. So I've got the sun visors, we've got all the little gadgets and gizmos. I have left the little pins for the sun visors in the bag. I don't want to lose them. They will roll off and I won't find them again. That's why I've left them on there. So we're going to want the big long detail first, and what we're going to do is we're going to add this onto here. So we need to flip this over. This is just going to be going just next to this grey box part here, so we can get that located onto there. And when we flip this over, we're going to need 2 GP screws in these 2 holes here and here. So I've got 1 GP screw ready to go in. I'm just going to lower that down and get that in now. Now we may have to light block this. I will test it at a later stage and make sure that they don't completely glow up, you know what I mean, where it lights the whole box part up. But we'll have to wait and see for that. So that's that part on there. Yeah, we just want the buttons to glow really, not anything else. So we may have to put some like black paint in the inside of there just to block it out. Next we're going to want these 2 panels here. So these are just going to fit quite simply just in there. So first one's going to go down onto here, be located on there like that. So we'll get that located in. These are also with a GP screw. So we've got 2 of them. That one's going just in this whole spat bang pretty much in the center. Just there. And the next one, just going to make sure that's straight because it doesn't look straight. There we are. That's better. Next one is going right next to that just there. So we'll lower that one down. Do exactly the same. Put a GP screw in this hole this time. Screw that together. There we are. Looking good so far. Now we're going to need this light black box part here. We're going to be installing this part. So this is going to get located down onto here. So we can drop that down on there. If we turn this round, we're going to have a screw hole just here, this one here, and that one's going to be where an LED is going to go. This is going to be with a BP screw, this one. I'm going to get that one in just there. Screw that together. Nice and tight, just like so. I'm going to make sure that is very square, that's better. And tighten that back up. There we are. So that is that part in there. So now we're going to be working on the sun visors. So we're going to be getting them on. So we've got one for the left and one for the right. Are they marked up left and right? Doesn't say. But we basically want this little indented part to be on the inside. So this one is going to go this side. This one is going to be going that side. So we can take this one, push that down onto there, turn that over, and that's where we've got to get our little pin just in there. So it's time to open up that little bag. So I just noticed on my sun visor it was missing this part, which sits over the top of it, which is supposed to be glued onto there, but it wasn't glued on there. So I'm going to glue that on now and hope it stays. Apply just a touch of glue on there just to repair that. There we are. I'm going to do this out of sequence, and I'm going to do the opposite side first while that dries. So just make sure, yeah, that one's fine. That one's fine. So I'm just going to do this side first. So this one wants to go on this side. This way around. And then we can put one in here. So let's get one of these little pins. I'm going to thread that through that little hole. Well, that was easy enough. That was a bit too easy. So easy, the pin fell out. It's quite a loose fit, that. So we'll slide that in there. I'm going to grab our little bracket. So once you've got that pin in, you want to let it drop down into the little recess for the pin. Then we can take one of these brackets and place that over the top, and we can secure them in with IP screws. So we're going to need 2 of these. Let's get this down. There we are. Secure that one down, and then one in the opposite side. Because I've got the first screw in, I've got my hand back now, I can hold everything. Screw that one, and then we do exactly the same with this side. So let's get this first one on. Try not to break the visor with my hand on the other side. That's that one down. Now we can put the second screw in, and that ain't going anywhere. There we are. Now they are really loose at the minute. I'm hoping, especially this one's really loose. This is the one that we repaired, but it's exactly how it's supposed to be. Yes, they are really loose. I'm hoping when we fit this to the roof, it applies a bit of pressure on there to stop them coming loose. So now we need to turn that over. Got a tab in here, so we're going to need that in a minute. So we're going to get that out. So we're going to need these 2 LEDs. And this one here, number 13, is the one we're going for first. So this does have 3 LEDs on here, and we're going to be going with the longest one in here. So we can push that down into there. Make sure you hold the bulb and not the wire. Push that down into there. That's going to run down this little channel here. The second LED. The wire does not look like theirs on theirs. Theirs looks all so neat and tidy and everything, but yeah, ours doesn't look like that. They've not given us enough cable for that, but yeah, we'll sort that out. This one's going to get plugged into this hole here. So we should have these 3 holes all with LEDs in it. And this one's going to come down here, down this channel. We make sure we stay clear of where the roof's actually going to connect. Push that in the hole. There we are. Right, now we're going to have to get both wires and we're going to feed them down through here, and a tab is going to go on this side here. Put our tab on. Just there. Then we're going to need another IP screw just in this hole here. There we are. That's that on there. Hoping that this does sit nice in there. That doesn't want to stay in there, that LED. So I'm going to have that just like that. And it wants us to put some tape over these now. So I'm going to get the tape. It's going to hold this in for us. So they give us 5 bits of tape. So we're going to need 2 for the top. So we're going to use 3 in this section. So let's take one piece off. It's going to go over the top of this LED. Just like so. That's that one down. One over this one. Let's try and manipulate this wire now. So it comes down here. And then one more just on the, over this LED as well. Let's get that over there. Pushing that down. Actually going to peel that back up a sec. I'm going to try and capture all these wires in there as well. There we are. So it sort of looks similar to that. So now we don't use this LED at the minute. We're going to put that to the side along with our roof. We're going to bring up a cloth and put it down here because we're going to need to bring in the upper roof part. So bringing it in, I'm going to lay that down on there. Very gentle. We're going to want to get all the wires out of the way in here. So I don't know if you can see this on any of the cameras. Hopefully this camera you can. All these wires are going to come over the back here. We do not want to catch any of these with this roof panel. We're just going to want them sort of neatly out of the way like that. Then we're going to bring in this LED here, the number 20, the green and orange one. Just going to feed that down one through each of these holes. There's a little hole just either side here. We're going to feed them through there. So number 1 and number 2. Pull that through just a tad. We can turn this back over and we should have our 2 LEDs poking out the top here. We're going to use the 2 remaining strips of tape and we're going to tape these down. So let's get our first strip. I'm going to put that roughly around about there. About there. Let's get our last one. Do exactly the same. LED. That's them 2 just on there. So now we can flip this back over. Oh. There we are. And we're going to make sure all of these wires now are coming up and over the back. Just like so. Our interior roof part. These 2 cables that we've got as well, we're going to make sure they come over the back. We're going to watch our mirror part down there, lowering this down. Into there, making sure that that cable isn't over the part we want to screw into. I'm going to just... Right, so now we're going to need to start securing this down. Going to be putting, if we move these sun visors out of the way, we're putting 2 screws in here. which is going to be NM screws, an NM screw in here, and then 3 along the back as well. I'm going to go spat bang in the centre first. So the screw stays on the screwdriver. Right, let's lower this one down. That one in. I'm going to put the 2 behind the sun visors in now. This should hopefully make these a little bit stiffer. Let's get this one in. Yeah. Do the other side as well. That one in. Now 3 along the back as well, but we need to make sure we don't capture these wires. I'm just going to hold that one to the side while we get that in the hole. Tighten that one nice and tight. I'm trying to do these nice and tight. Let's do the opposite side as well. So make sure that's to the side. Nice and tight again. And then 1 in the center here. So let's go just here. Nice and tight. I'm just going to go around and make sure everything's nice and tight. And then just here where the doors come in, there's just a little hole either side here. That's for another BM screw. It's going in either side here. So I'm going to put this side in first, lining up the hole. Then we can secure that one down. That one in. One more. Open that one down. Getting nice and tight. And there we are. Have a look at that. I think my sun visors are still floppy, but there's not really much I can do about that. So if I want them up, I may have to tape them up or something. But yeah, no, they're not too bad. They don't flop down or anything, so we're not too bad. So yeah, that is what you should have by the end of this issue. You should have these 2 parts coming up here. They're for the flux bands that come down here. If we flip this over, as you can see, we've got the interior roof on now. It's looking really, really cool. So I think the next part that we're doing is the side panels that go on the insides of the doors just here. And we've got the front panel parts here as well to go on. So that is it, guys. That's all we have to do today. The interior roof is inside there. I've put the top on. Yeah, sitting inside there. So that's that all done. And we're moving on to just adding the panels on now. So we're getting close to actually screwing these 2 parts together. There'll only be a couple more issues before we do that. So yeah, looking forward to that. If you like this video, guys, please leave a like down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.